Derek Myers, the teammate of Gerald West. Oh, and the 98 of Jerry Glenn's just gone round. I think that was off the bumper of Logan Lansford. And that is going to give the advantage to Gerald West here on the outside line. But can they hold it? That is the question. Did they make their move too soon? Thomas Harmon sitting there just in behind them. He moves up. Derek blocks. He moves down. Derek blocks again. And we have contact. Derek Myers goes round. The win is going to Thomas Harmon. Thomas Harmon wins this race. P2 goes to Brian Harris. P3 to Logan Lansford. What an incredible... Because here is Brian Chambers. He's going to celebrate his win here at Michigan. He's going to do it in style with the burnout. Oh, Sturgill sliding in to celebrate as well. Alright guys, with that, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have driver interviews. Make sure you guys stay tuned.
Whole strategy to spin out there before you hit the line. He must be trying to warm his tires up.
Yeah, but that's not the way it works, Brian. You know that. Hello everyone and welcome to the Output Racing 150 here today, presented by the SmithSimRacing team. We're here at the Lakeland, USA Speedway for 125 laps of what can only be described as pure agony. It looks like everyone is just starting to get ready for a pit party here. Things being led off by Jaron Sanchez. You can see the 38 Thomas Harmon there just in behind him. Sanchez currently leading the way in the standings with a 21.328. Travis Massey P2, Harmon P3, and Jonathan Hernandez in there fourth with Brian in fifth. You can just see there Sanchez saying hi to Travis Massey there real quick. Just a little kiss on the cheek, they call that in the industry. We're about to get going here for the pit party. And they're off and racing. Very weird, tight little track. That is used in the rookie series. Oh, as Christian Poe goes around, he just slid up in front of Ken Campbell. Ken, he hasn't done too many laps just yet. Just plowed into the back of him there a little bit. Currently has 13 drivers in the server, plus myself making 14. Oh, Frank! In the middle of the three wide turns, Ken Campbell, so he got the revenge for Chris there. And it sounds like we've got more shenanigans in the front. The four of Jaron Sanchez has gone around. Frank Isaacson has gone into him. Hernandez, I think that is in the 88. Yep, it is. He's got a lot of front end damage. I think he might have had something to do there with the turning of Sanchez. We see the 33 Matt Horton going for a spin by himself from our turn 2. There's 5 of Mark Pentecoff currently in the top position. And apparently our ticket isn't coming, so we should probably turn that on. Done. The momentum on that line, the outside line. This is a fun little track, but it's probably going to have a lot of contact associated with the race here tonight. There between John Lazelle and Mark Pentecoff. Do a road rage there from Pizzicami on Hernandez. And a return of serve while he was trying to save it. Saw James Watson just sneaking through there, trying to get back out on track. Christian Poe coming to stop. Frank Isaacson coming back out on track. He's currently P11. And around goes Watson. Just to stop it from going back out into the racing line. Christian Poe in the 2 car. Kraus, who's in second. Jonathan Hernandez is 51 points off the lead in third. Chris Champeau in fourth, 57 points off the lead. Thomas Harmon sitting there in fifth. He lost 2 positions last week. Down to 8 points off the lead. So it's a close battle there for third. But first and second, well, Christian Butt massively out the lead with 5 wins. He's only missed 1 race. And with 3 races to go after this week, you know, I'd say you probably have this wrapped up pretty quickly. But we're expecting this to be a bit of a long one because you know, it is a short track. Tempers will be flaring after this race. It's only 125 laps, which can get done pretty quickly around here. And it's only 21-second lap times, but we're expecting a large number of cautions. Just struggling a little bit there with 1 and 2, slipping out wide. Thomas Harmon, he's moved down to 5th now. Chris Champeau has taken over the top spot with a 21.261. There's still no Christian Budd yet. Well, he'll be here before too long. But, this is his team's event. Output Racing 150 presented by SmithSimRacing. Is it SmithSimRacing or Racing? Go have a look. I'm terrible at remembering these things. I should be better at it. SmithSimRacing, there you go. Hernandez trying to go for a move on Frank Isaacson here. He just gets the nose up the inside. He's going to hold on to it. There's someone going around somewhere. I think that was the 38 of Thomas Harmon in turn 1. There's a few people practicing pit entries. Oh, and around goes Frank. And he parks it in victory lane. For a track like this, I thought they would have done a few more pit parties. Just because it is one of those difficult to run tracks, you really need to know how to run in the pack. It's all good having the single car pace, but okay. Got to get used to that pack driving mentality just when it starts and restarts, because we know there's going to be a few of them. Although these guys have surprised us before, tracks that are traditionally a little bit crazy, these guys have shown us that they can drive it pretty cleanly. But then we think back to Martinsville a couple seasons ago, And yeah. So the current strength of field with the 13 drivers plus myself as the 14th person in the server is a 2700. Is not bad at all. Mark Cup currently in P12. The entire field right now separated by just 0.379 of a second. Trying to battle with Ben Campbell and hold off John Lozelle at the same time. Taking a slightly wider entry there. It looks like he's just not getting low enough to catch that yellow line. Get a big advantage around here running the yellow line. As shown by John Lozelle there. What a run he just had through 3 and 4. Couldn't do anything with it though. Mark was still just there in his way. And around goes Thomas Harmon. Let's just take a second here just to listen to and appreciate these cars as they go around this short track. Alright, looks like most people are actually in the pits now. Only 5 cars on track. It looks like we're about to get a few more come out on track. I say that could have been the perfect opportunity for a pit party. Travis Macias went the wrong way. Mark Penticum on screen. Get some wicked camera angles to play with here. Yeah, Jonathan Hernandez parked on the entry to turn 1. Making the overtake from Chris Champo. Right just behind Chris, overtake as well. Oh, and around goes Thomas. Champo and Travis Massey are still going on strong here. Does Frank. Travis, I think, might actually be on super fresh tyres because he's pulling away from these guys a little bit. We now have about 14 minutes left in the session. We go on to qualifying, then on to the 125 lap race. There trying to sneak up the inside of Chris Champo. He's got most of the work done. He's still up there on the inside. I reckon, there you go, he's got that move made now. Jonathan Hernandez trying to follow him through. And he also gets that move made. Oh, Frank got loose in front of them. How did no one hit him? P11. Looking pretty strong there in 11th too. And it looks like we just had Jonathan Bell and Christian Budd connect to the server. Brings our total up to 50 drivers, 16 people in the server. 29.14 is the strength of the field now, almost 3K. It's pretty wicked. currently P9. We just saw Jonathan Hernandez, who's P3. Go check out the 50 Christian Bud, who's on track now in the SmithSimRacing team. The presenting partners of tonight's race for the Output 150. Christian Bud's first lap is good enough for P3. 21.278. Jonathan Bell also on track. I'm not sure if he's on his first or second lap. That's lap 1, so he's only just started. Let's see what his first lap's going to be. First lap for Jonathan Bell, only good enough for P15, 21.652. There's a loose Frank Isaacson there in front of him. See what Jonathan Bell can do on his second lap. And it's good enough for P10, 21.388. Do a paint refresh real quick. Jonathan Bell might be running on paint here. Make sure everyone's wearing the correct number on the side of their boots. Ken Campbell there. Marquez in the 64. Why is his truck black? Like everyone's trucks are just rolling back to the base. Up 50's going on there with trading paint. There we go. Next is starting to come in now. Christian Bud's gone up to the top. 21.191. 0.044 clear of Chris Champo. Oh, it's Canvas because it can't be going around here on the front stretch. Canvas, who hasn't actually set a representative time yet. He has a time, but not really a good time. It's only good enough for P16. Chelsea He's still running the 9 truck. Oh, he's going to have a word about that. Now only have about 4.5 minutes now left in practice. Christian Budd showing that he doesn't need many laps to get it done. He's only done 13 altogether. Everyone else has been working at it most of this session. I tell you what, Jonas Marquez, who's out on track, is on a 32 lap run on his tyres. In that 64 car. He currently has the oldest tyres by 23 laps. We're going to go back focusing on crashes. That's what we like to do in practice. Can we just coming out of the pits? And still continuing on with those now 36 lap hold tyres. There's Brian Chambers. Ooh. Big hit on that inside wall on the backstretch. Looks like Brian Chambers in the 21 just hasn't been able to find any pace here. Only doing the best of a 21 at 8.69. But that might change in qualifying, which is coming up very shortly actually as we just come under the 2-minute mark left in the session. But with the 16 drivers plus myself in the server, strength of field is a 29.66. Around goes Chris Tempo there. Still currently P2 at a 21.234. Jonathan Bell went around his wrongly numbered car. and we are going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to find out the results of the qualifying here, so make sure you guys stay tuned. Welcome back to the Output 150 here at the USA International Speedway, presented by SmithSimRacing, and that means one thing: qualifying is over. Christian Budd is going to be taking the pole here tonight. On his outside will be the two of Chris Champeau. We're going to have Jonathan Hernandez starting out of P3 with Ken Campbell starting out of P4. The 21 of Brian Chambliss will be out of P5 with the 4 of Jaron Sanchez out of P6. P7 will be the 13 of Travis Massier with P8 being the 23 of John Lazelle. P9 will be James Watson in the 39 car, and P10 will be the 5 of Mark Pentecup in a great qualifying effort from Mark. P11 is going to be Thomas Harmon, P12 Jonathan Bell, P13 Frank Isaacson. It's going to be Matt Horton, Brian Pizzakemi, and Jonas Marquez wrapping up the field. We're just waiting for everyone to hit the grid. I think we're just waiting on Brian Chambliss to hit the grid, and then we'll be good to go. Oh, it's going to be 150 laps here of the USA Speedway. Originally slated for 125, I do believe it was. And it looks like Brian Chambliss has actually missed the grid. Chris Champeau just lurching forwards there. The 150 laps ahead of us here for the Output 150 presented by SmithSimRacing. And SmithSimRacing on the pole with Christian Budd. He is in the Road to Pro Series. Make sure you go check out his stream, twitch.tv/Christian Budd, to go check out how he does in the Road to Pro Series, and also to watch him as he rips around here in the Output Racing League. Get 2 laps under pace car because this is considered a short track. $16 drivers plus myself. Strength of field again is a 29.66. As we come out of turn 4, the first starters on green, all restarts on the leader. And we're off and racing for the Output 150 presented by SmithSimRacing. And already Christian Budd taking the lead. And it looks like Chris Champeau trying to slot down into second. It looks like he's going to be able to do that this time. There's already huge damage on the back of that 50 truck. I think the 88 Jonathan Hernandez might have gotten into him. See, there's still battles going on through the pack. Jaron Sanchez trying to hang on the outside of the 13 of Travis Massier as all the flashbulbs go crazy in the crowd. It looks like Travis Massier is going to take away that position from Jaron, put Jaron back to P6. Here comes Thomas Harmon from the back of the pack. He's trying to make a move on the 23 of John Lazelle. Couldn't quite get there this time. See in the back also Frank Isaacson trying to make a move. That is on the 78 of Brian Pizzakemi. And Pizzakemi actually liking that outside line a little bit there, taking the advantage and taking the position away from Frank. As you see now, Matt Horton in the 33 trying to make a move on Frank as well. Go back up to the front of the field of Christian Budd, and he's already starting to pull out a little bit of a lead here over Chris Champeau in the 2 car. As we have problems. think that was the forward Jaron Sanchez who's dropped a lot, and he has major right side damage to that truck. Not sure what happened to him. We heard him sliding around, and I think he might have gotten loose going through the corner and slid up into the fence. 64 Jonas Marquez also having issues here on the front stretch. Oh, and the 64's gone around again. This time the caution's come out for him as he went all the way around. And we are already 4 laps in the books, and that is probably going to be Jonas's day done. Smoke coming out of that engine. So he is probably done and dusted. We would normally go to a advert here, but since it's just so early in the race, we won't worry about that just yet. Now, unfortunately, that's probably going to be the end of the 64. The 21 and the 4 also in the pits. I think the 21 of Chandler's probably just getting a top up on fuel. Sanchez in for repairs, and he's going to go a lap down. Piper Mark Pentacup has just come into the pits as well. But look at all that damage on the back of the 50 truck. Good thing this is not a draft dependent track, because that damage would be affecting him greatly. And that's a solid hit too. Not sure who it was that got it into the back of him. I'm thinking that it might have been Jonathan Hernandez. There's no damage to the front of the 88 truck. No damage to the front of the 2 either, so I don't know. Looks like Jaron Sanchez coming out of the pits this time. He's probably going to just be the 1 lap down. And it looks like Jonas Marquez also coming out of the pits. He's going to be 2 laps down. As I believe we might be on the 2 to go now. Everyone's starting to get into their positions. Get ready for the restart here. In the hope that we're going to go green for a bit. We're going to do something a little special that we don't get to do too often. We're going to do a little bit of a crank it up here. But first we'll go through our top 10. It's going to be Bud, Champo, Hernandez, Campbell, Massia, Watson, Lozelle, Harmon, Pizzakemi, and Isaacson as your top 10. Alright, here we go. As I said, all the restarts are on the leader. So as soon as that pace car goes in, it's going to be time to crank it.
Go, go, go. Green flag.
Big crash there for John Lozelle. We just saw that one while we were in the crank it up. Let's have a look at what happened there. He's battling it out there with Ken Campbell. And he just comes across Ken Campbell there on the outside. And over he goes. Campbell probably going to have some significant damage from that. Fizikemi into the back of Campbell. See Frank Isaacson going down to the inside to miss it. And it looks like the 5 of Pentacuff maybe had a little bit of a coming together with the 33 of Horton. Horton also getting a little piece of Lozelle as well. So that was a huge crash, and with that one, we are going to go to a commercial break. So we'll see you guys in about 90 seconds. Stay tuned. Alright, we are back here for the Output 150 presented by SmithSimRacing here at the USA Lakeland Speedway. And Christian Budd still leading the way from Chris Champeau and Jonathan Hernandez. Travis Massier in P3 with Thomas Harmon. Sorry, Travis Massier in P4 with Thomas Harmon P5. But Campbell, Watson, Bell, Isaacson and Chambliss wrapping up your top 10, and someone just blew up. And I think that might have been the 64 of Marquez. No, he's still under power. Someone blew up, and I don't know who. Oh, was it the 4 of Sanchez, maybe? It doesn't look like he's under power there. There is no noise coming from that truck. It was Sanchez who just blew up. Now that is unfortunate. The league owner and operator. It's time for us to go back to green now. Everyone's getting themselves all sorted out. The pace car goes in, and we're off and racing straight away. The 50 of Christian Budd.
Go. Green flag.
Still Christian Poe didn't get as good of a start that time, but he's still going to hold on to the second position over Jonathan Hernandez. Thomas Harmon, in a fantastic effort, has pushed his way up into 4th position now over Travis Massier. See in the back there, the 27 of Jonathan Bell with the 9 on the side of his truck. He's moved up into 7th. He's up 5 positions from where he started. Everyone kind of single filing out here now. John Lozelle at the moment, excuse me, our only retirement, although I don't think we'll see Jaron Sanchez hitting the track again anytime soon. We've Going to go back up to the front of the pack, and Christian Budd pulling away. He's got 1.4 seconds over Chris Champeau at the moment. Saw the 88 of Jonathan Hernandez getting very loose, and he's going to lose out on quite a few positions here. He was running in third, and he's just dropped all the way back to 7th now, possibly 8th, as Ken Campbell looks to his inside. Not going to get there. But Hernandez falling right back at that minute. That is going to bring Thomas Harmon in the 38th back up into the 3rd position now. He's up 8 positions from where he started. On a short track like this where it's hard to pass, you know, he must be taking advantage of those starts and restarts. Let's go have a look at this battle here between James Watson and Travis Massier. James looking very aggressive on the back of Travis. You've got the 27 there of Jonathan Bell as well, with the 9 on the side of his truck. And up the inside goes Watson. Doesn't look like he quite has the drive to get his nose up there. Travis Massier shuts it down very quickly. Jonathan Bell now looking to the outside of James Watson. Not usually a move that we see too often. Now let's see if he can make that move stick. It's very hard to try and get that outside line to work. You really need to work that groove in throughout practice and qualifying. And you just can't quite get there on Watson. The NORL Dirt Series Season 1 champion is James Watson. The front of the pack is all strung out. This battle for 4th through 7th is probably the most entertaining thing on the track at the moment. Ryan Piscani is actually pretty far off the pack himself, hovering around Jonas Marquez at the back of the pack. And let's jump on board the back bumper cam here of 13 of Travis Massier. Have a look at these guys behind him. There's not too many moves trying to go on now. Well, as now, Jonathan Bell looking to the inside of James Watson. Couldn't quite get there. Close, but no cigar. Jonathan Hernandez still on the back of these guys, just trying to make anything work. Can't quite get there. Have a look out of his front bumper cam. Once I find it, there it is. These four are stuck to each other like glue at the moment. No one really able to take the advantage over anyone else. It looks like we might have a move on. James Watson to the inside now of Travis Massier. Travis getting that momentum off the corner, but Watson this time keeps his nose in it. Side by side through 3 and 4 we go. I think Massier is just going to get freight trained here by both the Jonathans as well. Because that outside line, you can't really hold on to it for too long. There he goes to the back of these guys. Oh, and almost a touch there between the two Jonathans, Hernandez and Bell. Hernandez had a pretty good run going on there through turn straight 4 as Watson now goes wide. That's invited Bell to look up his inside, couldn't quite get it done. Again, it just looks like Hernandez gets such a good run through 3 and 4, gets right onto the back of Bell's truck. Now Bell up on the inside of Watson. It looks like he's going to make that move stick with Watson only losing the singular position rather than getting freight trained by Hernandez and Massier as well. It's going to give Bell that little bit of an advantage now, having the clean air on his nose. He can try and pull away here a little bit if he's got a little bit of pace. The leader has already entered some lap traffic there. He's already gotten around Jonas Marquez and the 5 of Mark Pentecoff. Currently chasing down the 78 of Brian Pizzacami as Hernandez makes the move on the inside of Watson in 3 and 4. Oh, sideways goes Hernandez coming out of the corner. He makes that move stick going into turn 1 this time. And then Watson trying to do the over-under, trying to get back underneath him. And he's gotten there. Oh, but Hernandez with the big brakes. Sailing it into the corner, holding on to that 5th position now. He's going to want to try and chase down Jonathan Bell and try and take away 4th. There's an interesting race so far with Bud Champo and Harmon leading the way. Hernandez looking like he's getting into the gas a little bit hard here on the exit of the corners, getting sideways every so often. The fine balance in these trucks with them having not very much weight over the rear end, just trying to keep that thing stable on corner exit. As we are approaching the 1/3 mark on this race, in about 6 laps time. Guys are starting to hit some of that lap traffic that was passed before. There's Jonas Marquez running wide to allow everyone through. Mark Pentecoff just ahead as well. Let's go focus on crashes and see where iRacing will land us. There's Mark Pentecoff in the 5, currently 13th, 1 lap down. Back to James Watson we go as he's going around Jonas Marquez. Almost. Still at the moment only John Lozelle, Pina DNF, Sanchez staying in the car hoping for a few cautions so he can get back out there. Let's run some laps. Currently 29 laps down sitting in the pits. Ben Campbell having a good run right now, up into 8th. He's lost 4 from where he started, but doing pretty good there. I think the 38 of Thomas Harmon's had an issue coming out of turn 4. Didn't go very slow down the front stretch. He's actually allowed Brian Pizzacami to catch up to him a little bit. looks like he's got it sorted at the moment. Go back to Travis Masia now in P7. Still trying to hold off Ken Campbell as they're going underneath Mark Pentecourt. James Watson just ahead of them. He hasn't really gotten away from Masia or Campbell here. There's Cammy lap down. He's the first car lap down. Matt Horton, last car on the lead lap in 11. And he's not far away from going a lap down either. Cammy just struggling here a little bit with the way that the truck's wheeling. It says that Jonathan Bell's actually coming to the pits. He came to the pits on lap 7. In that 27 truck with 9 on the side of it. And he's right on the back of Thomas Harmon. These guys battling it out for third now. As we're edging ever closer to the halfway point in this race. Andy Telgenov told them off in chat. Must have had an effect because these guys have indeed stopped wrecking now. Everyone just trying to survive at this point. Matt Horton has gone a lap down. He's now first car 1 lap down. That's going to bring Frank Isaacson in P10. Bring the last car on the lead lap as Jonathan Bell just hit a wall there ever so slightly. He's actually pulled out a pretty decent gap over Hernandez. It's out to the tune of about 7 seconds, but I think because Hernandez has made a mistake somewhere. And he's just dropped back behind everyone. He got sideways going into turn 1. As Masia and Campbell are battling it out now for 6th and 7th. Hernandez dropped down to 8th. Oh, and around he's going again. And this time, that's going to be a caution. It seems that he was struggling with the tyres on that truck. I'm pretty sure everyone's going to come into the pit now. But we are going to go to a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we will hopefully be going to the end, but we'll wait and see. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Alright, we are back here for the Output Racing 150 presented by SmithSimRacing. And I'm not sure, but I think we might have had a change in order here. Just have to wait for everyone to get into their positions. I think Christian Budd either just took 2 tyres or he just took fuel at a very, very quick stop. Matt Horton in the 33 just got a wave around. And it looks like Chris Champeau is going to be leading the way. Going to be Chris Champeau from Christian Budd. Thomas Harmon, Jonathan Bell, James Watson, Travis Masia, Ken Campbell, Brian Chambliss, Frank Isaacson, and Jonathan Hernandez, who is the first car 1 lap down now. So somehow Chris Champeau managed to beat Christian Budd coming out of the pits, which is a phenomenal effort, as we're now 10 laps away from halfway. So when it gets to the start finish line this time, it's going to be 65 laps, 85 laps to go. We're also hearing that Brian Pizzicemi in the 78, his engine went boom. So that is going to be another, that's 2 Egg and Bakey awards that we can give out. 1 for Sanchez, 1 for Pizzicemi. As we're getting ready to go green, the pace car is in. Chris Champeau making him wait. He's off and racing now.
Go, go, go. Green flag.
That was a good jump from Chris Champeau. Made them wait a little bit before he took them off. And he takes the advantage down into turn 1. He's got Christian Budd right on his tail. Jonathan Bell and Thomas Harmon right there as well in 3rd and 4th. It looks like Thomas Harmon is probably going to take over 3rd here from Bell. But Bell very strong on that outside line. And I think Bell actually just took the advantage. He did. So it's, oh, Champeau made a little bit of mistake. He's going too wide in 3 and 4. Managed to hold on to it though. Christian Budd had to check out that little bit extra there to not run into him. We've got a race on our hands at the moment. As we're on lap 69, nice. Chris Champeau still leading the way from Christian Budd. It's Champeau, Budd, Bell, Harmon, Watson, Chambliss, Campbell, Masia, Isaacson, and Horton at the moment as your top 10. Jonathan Hernandez, P11, first car 1 lap down. Let's just have a look out the back of Chris Champeau's truck here. The pressure that's been put onto him by Christian Budd. Now, Champeau is one of our most fiercest defenders of position. He will fight tooth and nail to hold on to the spot that he's got. It's not going to be easy for Christian Budd to try and make that overtake stick. This race has almost been going for long enough that I reckon we might see the four of Darren Sanchez re-enter the track surface here shortly. As when we get to the line this time, we're officially halfway through. It's 75 laps down, 75 laps to go. And Chris Champeau is doing a monumental effort here to hold off Christian Budd. I think he might have just tapped the ball there a little bit. That could have been net code though. Let's see what's going on through the pack. I can see the 21 of Brian Chambliss in a battle with the 39 of James Watson here. This might be an overtake that happens pretty soon. It's behind them, Ken Campbell and the lap down car of Jonathan Hernandez. Hernandez has got a huge lead over the other lap down cars of Mark Pentecoff and Jonas Marquez. But it came down to us getting another caution here. As long as he's not involved, he'll probably get the lucky dog wave around. Go back up to the front of the pack. You see Chris Champeau actually starting to take a little bit of a wider entry into the corners. Opens up the door ever so slightly for Christian Budd. He's trying to just carry that little bit of extra speed through the corner. And it is working for the most part. That damage on the back of Christian Budd's car might be affecting him a little bit. And these two have pulled away from Jonathan Bell and Thomas Harmon. Thomas Harmon falling right back. 7 seconds off the lead at the minute. Closest battle on track right now is between the 21 and the 39. That's Chambliss and Watson respectively. Chambliss trying to get into the top 5, Watson trying to hold on to it. Our leaders are almost about to encounter some lap traffic. It's going to be Mark Pentecoff, who is already 1 lap down. Check out Chambliss, see how he's getting on. Still just sitting in there behind James Watson at the moment. As the laps are ticking down. Only 65 laps to go when they come to the line this time. In fact, it's 65 to go now. My apologies. It's still officially only John Lozelle who is OUT out of the race. Sanchez and Pizzicami in the pits getting repairs done to their engines. We don't have no 5-minute clock here. It looks like Chandler's starting to fall off from Watson here a little bit now. As the 250 have just gotten around Mark Petticup, put him a 2nd lap down. Chris Champeau showing Christian Budd how it is to lead this race. But it's pucker time on his rear wing there. I reckon that's exactly what he's doing every single corner. Puckering, hoping that Christian Budd doesn't get that advantage on him. As we've seen, it just takes one small mistake for another caution to come out. As they come underneath Jonas Marquez in the 64 now. Marquez, who is multiple laps down. It just seems that Christian Budd just can't find a way around Chris Champeau. He's trying so hard to get there, he just doesn't find a way around. As I said, Chris Champeau, one of the best defenders in this league. And both of them Twitch streamers as well, both of them would be live. We already gave you Christian Budd. You can find Chris Champeau at twitch.tv/champdrivescars. Or he wouldn't be saying too terribly much right now, too focused on the driving aspect of this race. But these guys have absolutely gapped everyone out. 6.5 seconds between Chris Champeau and Jonathan Bell right now. Jonathan Bell was actually not very far away from having Thomas Harmon knocking on his door. It looks like Chris Champeau's actually gotten himself into a nice little rhythm here. That's what happens when you're the leader of the race. You can control the tempo, control how fast everyone behind you is going. And Christian Budd looked like he actually got a little bit loose that time coming out of turn 2. Trying to come off on the low line, and you can see he had just that little bit of a slide. I know Christian Budd's definitely trying to push it. He wants to win in the race that he's sponsoring. Let's check out this battle for third now as Thomas Harmon has been closing in on Jonathan Bell. Just behind them is James Watson. Closing in on them a little bit as well. Let's open up the radio waves here and see what these drivers are talking about. See if they are actually talking about anything. moment it's all radio silence. We're going back to our battle for the lead. Hang on, let's jump on board the nose of Christian Budd here. And he's been staring at this bumper so many laps now. We're under 50 to go. Going to be 47 to go when they get to the line this time. Look at how close he's getting to that bumper. It's so hard to try and find a way around. As you can see, Christian Poe not leaving very much room open for a dive or anything. Christian Budd not one to make a reckless dive. Oh, but he's getting very close to bumping him though. See Christian Budd trying to go for a little bit of a diamond to exit. He goes in low, slides up a little bit, and then diamonds off the exit, trying to get a lower exit. Try to get the run on Christian Poe. Just doesn't look like it's working out for him at the moment though. He's been getting close, not quite close enough. Christian Poe looking like he's actually gained a pretty good gap now over Christian Budd. Going out to a second. This was a drafty kind of a track, then Christian Budd was just about out of the draft. This has been quite an intriguing little battle going on here for the front of the pack, as we have just 40 laps to go at the end of this lap. $110 complete, 40 to go. And we know that they can make it on fuel. I'm just sitting here wondering, what is the tyre situation going to be like? Especially for these two at the front, they've been pushing every single lap. How are their tyres looking? It's going to be the burning question. Christian Poe went very wide there on the entry to 1 and 2. As they go around Jonas Marquez again, putting him another lap down. Hernandez still first car 1 lap down, and Matt Horton still last car on the lead lap. Managed to not get lapped again. Because now Christian Poe has a second and a half over Christian Budd. It just seems in the second half of the race, Christian Budd just plain being outclassed by Christian Poe here. Pit strategy put Christian Poe in the lead. Well, not pit strategy, just quickness in the pits from the driver and the pit crew. And then his tenacious defense has kept him in front. Christian Budd definitely falling off the pace a bit now. 2 seconds back is the gap. There's not really too many battles to speak of on the track at the moment. The 21 of Brian Chambers has actually fallen off the pace a little bit. He's down in 8th. For what happened to him, but that's definitely not good. Jonathan Hernandez, who was storming through the field earlier, 1 lap down. He's kind of stalled out there behind the 13 of Travis Massio. There's no real battles going on either. Everyone's kind of single filed out and spread out a little bit here. Tell you what, if Chris Champeau pulls off this win, I reckon he's going to be very excited in the interview. I'm pretty sure this will be his first win in the Output Racing League. Double check it real quick. He's had 1 win in the Output Racing League, so this will be his second in 90 starts with the league. Looks like we might have a battle forming over here with the 15 and the 13. Ken Campbell and Travis Massio. This is going to be the battle for 6th and 7th. Campbell's just fallen into the clutches of Massio here a little bit. It's just not quite close enough as we now have just 26 laps to go. 25 and a half as Chris Champeau's on the back straight. You see a lot of broken and beaten cars here. Yeah, for our top two cars, absolutely clean as a whistle. Like at the moment our hard charger is also going to be our 3rd place finisher of Jonathan Bell. I'll have to just go double check that one, make sure. It'll either be him or Thomas Harmon. The big loser of the race is Jaron Sanchez, down 9 positions from where he started. It looks like Travis Massey is just having the same issue as Christian Budd. Just can't quite find a way around Ken Campbell. That was probably more due to just the nature of the track. Pressure to pass track because it's single file around the bottom. You've either got to get a better run out of the corner and get your nose up there, or you've got to punt the pass. driver Mark Pensicup to dispose of him quickly. This is the closest thing we have to a battle on track at the moment. But we are not far away from having more people falling a lap down. Has been the 33 of Matt Horton and the 24 of Frank Isaacson in 10th and 9th respectively. Campbell just getting a little bit loose on the exits. Massia right there on his tail. Have a look out of the back of Campbell's car. Look how close he is. And Massia, he's got the run this time. He's got the nose up there. Oh, Campbell with the bigger brakes. Swooping around the outside to hold on to position. But Massia is up there again, a little bit further this time. This time Campbell's going to concede to Massia. Going to be Massia now up into P6. Campbell down to 7th. We are in the final 15 laps. Champo's just encountered the 33 of Matt Horton and disposes of him quickly. Now Champo trying to chase on to Frank Isaacson to put him a lap down. Champo not exactly in a rush here to catch up with Frank. We now have 12 laps to go in this race. And he's still just holding Christian Bud at arm's length, just slightly going faster than him. Like 45 hundredths of a second that lap. Gap is out to about 4 seconds as they cross the start finish line at time. As we're now 10 laps to go in the race. And I don't think Chris Champo is going to be headed here at all. The only thing that could possibly ruin this for Chris Champo is a caution. Even then, I think most people would come into the pits for tyres if we were to get a caution right now. And with there only being 9 cars currently on the lead lap, it would make sense to pit for tyres, even if it's just a green, white, checkered. And yeah, this is a great track for defending, but fresh tyres would still mean so much around here. Now just 7 laps to go. It looks like Travis Messier has actually just overtaken Thomas Harmon. Thomas Harmon's just dropped down to P6 after being in 4th for so long. Watson and Messier have gotten around him. Go check out Thomas Harmon. He might have damage on that truck. Oh, he does. Big right side damage. He has absolutely slapped the wall. That thing does not look like it's handling very well for him. We're now in the final 5 laps of this race. See Thomas just absolutely struggling with driving that truck right now. I think he might actually lose a position here to Ken Campbell. 24, Frank Isaacson has ended his way into the pits. Just wanted to get out of the way of the 2 of Chris Champeau. As we now only have 3 laps to go, Chris Champeau leading the way by 6 seconds over Christian Budd. There's an entire quarter of the corner. Underneath Mark Pentecoff he goes quite easily. Mark not going to fight him for that one. Jonathan Hernandez is going to end up with a top 10 out of this. We're on the penultimate lap. Coming through turns 3 and 4 for the second to last time. Going to be white flag, last lap, last chance to win it or wear it for the 2 of Chris Champeau. And he is going to be so overly excited with this victory. It's only going to be his 2nd victory here in the Output Racing League, as Frank has just come back out onto the track right in front of him. I don't think Chris is going to mind too much though, because coming out of turn 4, your winner here at USA Speedway is going to be the 2 of Chris Champeau. 50 of Christian Budd will come in 2nd, and 3rd will go to the 27 of Jonathan Bell. 4th place is James Watson. 5th, Travis Messier. Thomas Harmon fell out of the top 5.
Awesome job, Chris. Thanks, guys. Good race, everybody.
Hear the thanks going over this radio there. Time for burnouts here for Chris Champeau. Doing the burnouts in victory circle. Quite the appropriate place for him. But we are now going to go to a commercial break. And when we come back, we'll have driver interviews. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Alrighty, guys, it is time for our Viagra Hard Charger Award winner. And today's Hard Charger Award winner is the 27 of Jonathan Bell with the 9 on the side of the truck. Jonathan, get your paints figured out before the race.
I usually drive lately I've been driving a Toyota Tundra, and that has the correct paint on it, and then I registered with the Chevy, so it's my fault, 100%. And then I realized it mid practice, and I turned it off, but apparently you got to leave and come back for it to register. So that's all my fault. My apologies. But yes, 27, not the 9. That's for a different occasion.
Right now, anyway, great race from yourself, man. You got the Hard Charger Award winner, and you also come away with P3 out of this race. How do you feel first and foremost?
Glad to be alive. I know there's an incident. I think it was a second caution. There's a big wreck. I don't know what happened. I have to actually go back and take a look at it. I probably and then just saw a truck in the air and made a hard left towards the inside wall to get away from it. But after that, like it was just having only about 10 laps practice and them just all being hot laps trying to see if I can put down a good lap for qualifying, and even then I couldn't even get it done in qualifying. But still figuring out race pace through the runs. So I'm glad we got a run at the end because it was actually kind of found out I was terrible at it until the last 10 laps when I actually started to click and getting some time on Christian, but then just ran out of time. But other than that, it was just survival. And then once we got a run, it was great. Had fun.
So what was it like on those restarts? Because I know that you flip-flopped a little bit between inside lane and outside lane. Which one seemed to have the advantage for you? And what was it like just, trying to fight your way towards the front?
Well, it kind of all depends on who's in what lane, really. I mean, if you got guys on the inside that can kind of go into the corner and keep momentum up through the corner, then you want to be on the bottom. But if they stack up a little bit on the bottom, you can kind of rush around the outside. I was able to get around Harmon starting fourth just by him, Bud and Chris stacking up the bottom. So it really just all depends on who's in what line and how many cars are in what line too. But other than that, like the restarts were pretty fun. Just kind of like eyeing which line seemed to be moving, and then I tried a couple times to get around on the outside. I had a chance on that last restart with Chris and Bud after a few laps to really go and get it, but I decided against it, gave Bud the benefit of the doubt, and then eventually, he walked me by 3 seconds, so let them fight. But other than that, like the restarts were fun, and it was just kind of like you had to just feel out what line was going to work.
And now let's have a look forward towards next week. We're going to Auto Club, and we're going there for how many laps are we going there for? This is what
Hopefully a
happens when
lot.
you have a pro streamer on board. We're going there for 80 laps at the Auto Club Speedway. So what's the feeling like for you heading to Auto Club next week?
Get the lead, because as we learned, dirty air is a big thing. But Chris being in front of Bud tonight really killed Bud's right front tires. It seemed like, and he just kept falling back. That's primarily why I was able to catch him, because he was so close to Chris's dirty air that his tires just got killed. But so that's the plan. Like just try to get out front, get the lead, and use the dirty air to your advantage out there. But then again, I haven't raced Auto Club in the trucks in a while. It's from what I've known, it's primarily feels like Speedway until the first 10 laps, and then it kind of turns into your general mile and a half through the corners. But other than that, great track, love it. It's gonna be fun. So I hope there's a lot of trucks out there.
All right, now before we let you go, anyone you want to give a shout out to here tonight?
Just my buddies at Factory Setups. They always, we work together a lot, have fun. So and they weren't on the truck tonight, but they will be in the future. So and shout out to you guys for putting on, you for broadcasting, Jason or Jaron for putting on the league. And I know I've been MIA for most of the season, but plan to be back here for the end of the season. So thanks for having me.
I'm glad to hear that you're going to be back for the rest of the season because you're always one of the wild card entries, as I like to call them, that has a chance of winning every week. But congratulations on a Hard Charger Award and P3 here tonight, man. Look forward to seeing you again next week.
Yeah, thank you. Hopefully, I'll get a win eventually in this league one day. It will come. I'll go for it. But yeah, I appreciate it.
All right, guys. So that was Jonathan Bell, today's third place getter and Hard Charger Award winner. Coming up next, we're going to have usually the most dominant force that we've seen in this league. But tonight, you only come away with P2. It's going to be the 50 of Christian Budd. Christian, you had it all going your way, and then the pit stop was just that little bit slow, mate.
Yeah, it's kind of a tactical error on my end. I had some damage on that on our first restart. I just got on the brakes kind of early for turn one, didn't want to overdrive it. And Jonathan didn't expect that and got into the back of me a little bit. So had about 12 and a half seconds of damage. And I thought when I came in, I had enough time to fix maybe a couple seconds. And I did, but then unfortunately, I shouldn't have done that. I should have just left it alone, and dealt with it because I lost the lead. And once that happened, these trucks are really aero sensitive, and Chris obviously was doing a really good job of driving, second fastest in practice and second fastest in qualifying. So, he knew how to get around the place, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to get by him.
Yeah, it definitely looked like that this is one of the harder tracks to try and pass, especially once everyone got single filed out. What was it like for you just trying to look for a way around Chris? I mean, I noticed that you were trying a few different lines, maybe trying to diamond out a little bit, and you seemed to get a little bit of an advantage, just couldn't quite get your nose up there.
Yeah, I mean, it was going to be really tough. I mean, there was a couple times where he made a few mistakes. He overdrove turn one a little bit and would slide up and open a door. But you know, if I stuck my nose in there, I felt like he was diamonding down. It was going to just probably cause a wreck. And Chris and I raced really well together. I don't think we've ever really had incidents or anything like that. So I didn't want to wreck him, And so I wanted to just try and wait for the opportunity to get the run off the corner and beat him down into the next corner, and just didn't happen. Unfortunately, a couple times I got real close, but couldn't quite get there. And then eventually, being behind him so long, I was using up a lot of tire, and eventually was able to pull away from that.
Right now, let's talk about just the tires over that last run. Run those tires for the majority of the race. How did they feel there towards the end? Because I can't imagine that they were feeling too terribly good for you.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things about having track position and qualifying on the pole and stuff, that's why it's so important, and why I make sure I try and do that every week, is you can save your stuff. And when you're running behind somebody and you're trying to get by them, you can't. And so I used them up pretty much completely, and they got real greasy, real overheated. Once they did, they didn't really come back. So last 30 laps or so was just kind of hanging on. You know, you're still trying to go fast. You want to stay in range in case something happens. He could have got caught up with a lap car or anything, but you know, so you're trying to still go fast, but you're definitely sliding around quite a bit.
Right now, let's look forward to next week. Going to the Auto Club Speedway for 80 laps. What's it feeling like for you heading out to Auto Club?
With the trucks, I don't know. To be honest with you, never drove the fixed trucks there. I imagine it'll be kind of a packed up race, kind of like Michigan. Um, I don't know if we'll see the high line really come into play. You kind of see that with some of the higher power cars, but with the truck, I'm just not really sure how that's going to play out. So um, don't know. But either way, this season's starting to wind down a little bit, and kind of look forward to the next one as it comes up.
All right, Christian, we know you got a few people to thank and a Twitch stream to shout out. So let's hear your shout outs for this week.
Yeah, of course, it's going to be SmithSimRacing. Been working hard for Rockingham, coming up here, Road to Pro, and Output Racing for putting on a great race. A lot of good drivers in here. Congratulations to Chris. Chris has been racing here a long time, and I know he won one in our Legacy Cup, but I haven't seen him win one in a little while. So congrats to him, and hopefully he enjoys that. And of course, the Aussie Sim commentator for doing a great commentary, and we get to rewatch these things every week.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming out, Christian. Greatly appreciate you coming out each and every single week and sponsoring tonight's event. Look forward to seeing what you can do next week at Auto Club.
Thanks.
All right, guys. So that was our second place getter here tonight, Christian Budd. And coming up next, this is only his second victory in 90 races, but we won't hold that against him because he is definitely one of the better drivers that we've had. He's just always had a little bit of bad luck, but no bad luck tonight. But the two of Mr. Chris Champo. Chris, phenomenal effort out there. It all started with getting just that slightly better pit stop than Christian, and then you just didn't look back from there.
Yeah, honestly, I almost feel like I need to go back and watch that pit stop because I was saying, like, when we left the pits, I gunned it and I ghosted into him and I could see like his helmet in his car the whole time. Like, I don't ever actually feel like I got in front of him. So I have no idea how I beat him on a pit road to begin with. And then, man, that whole run, I was just like, he's just either letting me win or just hitting his tires a shit ton or something. And it was just really weird.
It just looked like it was definitely very close on the pit exit. I was even confused about who was going to be where. That's how close it was. But it just seemed that maybe in that dirty air a little bit, his tires just got a little bit burnt up behind you. And we know that you're one of the more stout defenders here in the league, and he just couldn't quite find a way around you here on this single lane track.
Yeah, I overdrove 1 and 2, I don't know, at least 20 times. And early on in that run, there was a couple times where I overdrove it and he got to the inside and I was just like, up there it goes. And I was able to get just enough speed on him to get him on exit. But yeah, that was, I'm still like, what the hell just happened? Because like, I just thought for sure, like, because all season I've been driving out hard, burning tires up, and then I'll get 3 or 4 seconds ahead, and somebody will come rolling back and be able to get me on fresh or saved tires. So I just thought for sure everyone was going to eventually catch me.
But how does it feel, Christian? Chris, sorry, because this is only your second win in the league. I think the last win that you had was when we did the Legacy Cup.
Yeah, honestly, it's it's good because it's the first race I feel like during like a real season where most of the people are here, and yeah, it's pretty surreal because like I think the last time I won, I won or was able to beat Christian, but it was a pit strategy decision where I was out 20 or 30 laps after him. I don't remember exactly the details of it, but I was able to have clean tires or newer tires, about 20 or 30 lap newer tires, and was able to beat him. But tonight, just being able to beat the field on the same old tires, and it just feels really good. It's I think I've been in the league about 2 years, and a lot of races, a lot of bad luck, a lot of corrects, but no controversy tonight, and just a good old race.
It definitely looked like a good old race from our perspective, but let's look forward to next week. We're going to Auto Club. What's the feeling like for you heading to Auto Club for 80 laps?
Uh, honestly, I'm not really looking forward to it. It's not one of my better tracks. I feel like we've raced there quite a bit in this series. We've done some like fun off-week races there, and every time I go there, the car just feels really tight, and just I overdrive it, and I don't know. But then again, last week, if you said how you feel about USA International, I've been like, well, that's like my least favorite track. So what do I know? Who knows? Maybe it'll be a good race. You know, it's. I'm just looking at the standings. Apparently, I'm in second, which I have no idea how the hell that happened. So.
Well, hey, consistency can go a long way, and you've definitely had a very nicely consistent season this season. How would you rate yourself so far? Just from what you remembered of the season.
Oh, it was awful. Like there was weeks I wasn't even gonna race because I was like, well, whatever, I don't care. This is just like a throwaway season at this point. That's kind of how I looked at most of it. There was I think I can remember maybe 5 or 6 races being in P2, and then just somehow throwing it away. I ended up maybe 5th or 6th, which honestly, I should be pretty happy with the 5th or 6th finish because that's still really good. But at least more than one hand that I can count on one hand. I know I've been in like P2 or P3 and somehow screwed it up. And so I've kind of just been like, the season's just fun. Just go out there for experience and good racing. I never really expected to be actually doing any good, let alone win any races.
See, the key to success is just having fun. We heard it first from Chris himself. But Chris, we know you got some shout outs that you got to handle here tonight, and we know that you've also got a Twitch channel. Get a shout out to your Twitch channel and any other shout outs you got to handle here tonight.
Yeah, I've been trying to race a little bit more. Work's been busy, so not racing as much as I'd like to be. But Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, in the mornings, about 9 a.m. Pacific time. I usually try to do a race or two, and that's twitch.tv/champdrivescars. And I gotta give a shout out to Jaron. He always runs a good league, puts on a good race. And I owe him a paint for his truck, and I promise I'll get it done before the season's end. But yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming out, Chris. Congratulations on picking up your win. Excuse me. And we look forward to seeing what you can do next week at Auto Club.
Yeah, buddy. Well, hopefully, hey, maybe we can make it 2 in a row. But I'm not trying to. I'm just gonna go out there, have some fun again, and hopefully we can have a good race.
Well, just remember, having fun has been the key to your season so far.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Chris, and we'll see you next week.
All right, see you, buddy.
All right, guys. So that was our winner tonight, the 2 of Chris Champo, and as you can hear, he was absolutely over the moon, and that is just absolutely fantastic. That is going to end off our broadcast here tonight. I'd like to thank you all for coming out and having a watch. If you're watching this back on the YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you guys next week at Auto Club.